The numbers coming out of Game Week 1 are mind-blowing. Erling Haaland just matched his record-setting pace from last season with 6 shots in box and 3 big chances in a single match.
That's such a fascinating way to look at it. He's essentially picking up exactly where he left off, isn't he? Those statistics against Wolves are almost supernatural.
Well, when you consider that Wolves were basically building a fortress in their own half, those numbers become even more impressive. And now, he's facing Spurs at the Etihad, where City's home record is absolutely phenomenal.
Those Spurs under Postecoglou are showing a different defensive setup than what we've seen in previous seasons. How do you think that higher line might affect the game?
That's exactly what makes this matchup so intriguing. Spurs' higher defensive line could actually play right into Haaland's strengths. When you look at his goals from last season, so many came from those perfectly timed runs behind aggressive defenses.
The data from similar tactical matchups last season definitely supports that theory. City seemed to thrive against teams that tried to play a higher line at the Etihad.
Let's pivot to Mo Salah for a moment, because that opening day record is absolutely remarkable. 8 consecutive seasons with a goal. But that trip to St. James's Park presents a completely different challenge.
Especially considering how Newcastle just shut out Villa, who were one of the highest scoring teams in the latter half of last season.
The interesting thing about Salah, though, is his ability to produce even in these tough away fixtures. His expected goals in big away games last season was consistently among the highest in the league.
So if we're weighing proven track records against fixture difficulty, where does someone like Saka fit into this conversation?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Saka's blank in Game Week 1 might have masked what we saw in preseason. Arsenal's expected goals and chance creation numbers were actually through the roof.
And that home fixture against Leeds looks absolutely perfect for a bounce-back performance, especially given Leeds' defensive struggles this season.
Speaking of potential differential options, Cole Palmer's situation at Chelsea deserves some attention. West Ham just conceded 3 to Sunderland, and Palmer's central role in Chelsea's attack could be crucial.
Though that blank in Game Week 1 might have some managers feeling nervous about trusting him with the armband so early.
Here's what's fascinating about Palmer's underlying numbers, though. His touches in the final third and expected assists were actually quite impressive, even if the end product wasn't there yet.
The risk-reward calculation there is really something to consider, especially for managers looking to make up ground early in the season.
And then there's Ollie Watkins. Consistent returns but rarely explosive. The historical data shows Villa's away games typically produce fewer goals, which could really cap his ceiling.
That's such an important point about ceiling versus floor when it comes to captaincy choices. We're not just looking for good returns, we're looking for those game-week winning hauls.
Looking at all these factors together, I'd rank them. Haaland first? Those home numbers are just too good to ignore. Saka second? That Leeds fixture could be perfect for a huge haul. Palmer third if you're feeling brave, Salah fourth due to fixture difficulty, and Watkins fifth.
The fascinating thing about FPL is how these early season decisions can shape your entire campaign. A differential captain choice that pays off now could set you up beautifully.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Finding that balance between playing it safe with Haaland and taking calculated risks when the opportunity presents itself. The data suggests Haaland is the percentage play, but Saka could be that perfect differential for managers looking to make a move.
Well, here's hoping whatever decision managers make this week pays off. Though I have to say, those Haaland numbers are pretty compelling.
Absolutely right. And remember, in FPL, sometimes the obvious choice is the right choice. Don't overthink it if the data is pointing you in a clear direction.